Good morning students, my name is Shubham Sekhar and today we will study about asexual reproduction and the types of asexual reproduction. So let's start. So what is asexual reproduction? When the process of reproduction takes place with the help of a single parent, okay? When the process of reproduction takes place with the help of single parent, means single parent is involved with or without the formation of gametes. Mean the formation of gametes can happen or it cannot happen also. Okay. So this is called asexual reproduction. Okay. Now, the offsprings or the individuals that are formed out of asexual reproduction are called clones. Okay, what they are called? They are called clones. Why they are called clones? Because the offspring are exactly similar to each other. Okay, they are morphologically and genetically similar. So the offspring produced out of asexual reproduction are called clones. Okay, is it clear? Now let us see the types of asexual reproduction. What are the types of asexual reproduction? I have written 5 types. Let us see. The first one is fission. And the meaning of fission is to divide. You must have heard of nuclear fission and nuclear fusion. So in nuclear fission there is division, okay, and in nuclear fusion there is amalgamation, okay. So what is fission? Fission has 2 types. The first is binary fission. The meaning of binary fission is when an organism divides into 2 organisms and thus produces 2 offsprings, it will be called as binary fission. Okay, what is happening in binary fission? A single organism divides itself into 2 and thus forms 2 offsprings, isn't it? Now the example is amoeba. Okay. Now the second type of fission is multiple fission. What is the meaning of multiple fission? The meaning is self-explanatory, isn't it? It means that a single organism or a single cell will divide into multiple cells or multiple organisms, and thus the process of reproduction can happen through multiple fission. So what is the example of multiple fission? It is plasmodium. Okay, what is happening in binary fission is that a single cell has divided into 2 daughter cells, okay, and in plasmodium a single cell will divide into multiple cells, okay, it will divide into multiple cells. This is called multiple fission. Now the second type is budding. Okay, and this takes place in hydra and yeast, etc. Okay, so in the process of budding, the body of the organism develops a small bud over it, and gradually that bud develops into a new individual or a new offspring. Okay, and thus the process of reproduction has taken place. Now let us see how it happens. For example, this is a hydra. So when it is reproducing by the process of budding, what happens? A small bud occurs on the surface of the body, okay, and eventually this bud grows into new organism, okay. And after that it will separate from the parent body. Okay, so this is called the process of budding. Now the third type of asexual reproduction is called fragmentation, and it happens in Spirogyra. So what is meant by fragmentation is it actually happens, or it normally happens in multicellular organisms, okay, but all the multicellular organism cannot do this asexual reproduction or fragmentation, okay, but in some multicellular organism like Spirogyra it happens, okay. So what is the process of fragmentation is, the body or the organism will eventually divide itself into fragments, many fragments, and all the fragments then will develop into a new organism, okay. The body will divide into fragments, many fragments, multiple fragments, and then each and every fragment will develop into a new organism that will be called as a process of fragmentation. Now in regeneration, some organisms are able to generate the lost part of their body, okay, like planaria, okay, and this process is called regeneration. What is regeneration? The process in which the organism is able to develop the lost part of the body. Maybe in the process of predation, they may have lost their any part of the body, okay. So this is called regeneration. So that can be regenerated, as in the case of planaria. What is vegetative propagation? This takes place in plants, okay. As we know that the reproduction in plants requires the formation of pollen grains and ovules, okay, but in some cases, or there are many cases in which plant can reproduce without the formation of pollen grain or without the involvement of pollen grain or ovules. So some of the plants are bryophyllum, okay. So this was all about asexual reproduction. Thank you so much.